How are you doing, Madalen?
I am wonderful. I was actually just started doing some DMing, and so looking forward to some responses. I was going to literally create a post when we're done here about business owners in my friend group, just basically like, hey, taking a poll, who all in here is a business owner? You know what I mean? So
Awesome.
see what happens, right? I mean, I'm excited about connecting the texting and then going after these older leads. I haven't had a whole bunch of luck on the phone calls, but again, that was a tester group. I was just seeing what was out there, and if we can salvage one or two, then awesome. And then really just put my head down, because that ad I ran, I didn't even do the 4 different ads. I just did one. That was it. So that could
Awesome.
be 500. I don't know. And I'm going to go into a more, I think I'm going to do a niche of like doctor, chiropractor, wellness center, something of that nature, where they're a little bit more professional, not as so salesy. The solar is typically a pretty hardcore A-type sales personality kind of person that has a big ego. So
Yeah,
not that the dentists
I
and
know.
the wellness people doctors don't have egos, but they are more apt to realize they don't have the business savvy.
True. Is your ads AI on what email address is that one?
Contact, I changed them all. It should be contact at Radical Middle. It should be the email address, I believe. Let me just double check actually, you know what? I think it's radical middle media at Gmail ads AI. I believe it's radical middle media at gmail.com. It just auto loads for me now, so I don't I don't worry about it. So what I can do, it is the Hello Radical Middle Media resources profile sign out. Doesn't give me a change.
So which one was the one where you got all of those
It
leads?
was the solar. It's now paused. I paused it because I was getting to the point where, okay, I started reaching out to the newest, and then we started talking about the 4 ad set process. And so it's the solar CBI is the actual one that I got all of the majority of these leads off of. A handful came through the term life insurance one. The annuity, I was getting nothing, so I stopped it. But the solar CBI was the one that if you go to view results, it is the one with the house and
Uh-huh.
the
That's
pools
the one.
there. Yeah. And then
The
I
one
haven't.
with 5,000 reach and 75 leads.
Correct. Yes. So 10 of the
Awesome.
85 came through the 2 other ads that I was just kind of playing around with it to see if it would work. I got to be now that side of my life. I do financial services stuff, and it's pretty heavily regulated, so I can't get too crazy with that. So
When we get into this little first bit, the testimonial bit, would you be so kind to share your screen and share the results on that ads
absolutely.
AI?
Yeah, absolutely not a problem at all.
Awesome. Just so we can actually prove
Sure.
that we're not
Yeah.
just
Well, and
talking.
I could do this, right? So it's 2 months. I ran it for, it looks like 3 weeks. So here's the reach, and then I could have that
Yeah.
there.
Let's begin, Madeleine. And could you tell me what prompted you to enroll with CBI? What was the problem you were trying to solve with our service?
That's a great question, Andrea. So, why did I get involved? What was I trying to solve? I was trying to solve the issue of the confusion of paid ads, right? And generating more leads for business in order to grow and doing it efficiently. That's really the reason.
Awesome. And what did stood out from our offer? Because I'm guessing you were on the market looking. So what did actually stood up from us?
What stood out to me was Paul's alignment of taking Christ to the marketplace. I'm a big believer that God's kingdom is expanded. His churches get expanded through connection with local business leaders. And in my opinion, business leaders today are the kings of old, right? You didn't launch movements or churches or anything without the king's support. And I think the same holds true here, just translated through time, that successful ventures, successful businesses need that support through businesses. In our marketplace today, more and more businesses need support systems because of the roadblocks they face in the marketplace just to try to succeed. I mean, let's face it, the average business fails in the first 5 years, right?
Yeah.
The majority of them. And to have the Christian foundation of CBI and then seeking other Christian business owners in order to help expand is exactly what God's put on my heart personally.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And what would you say it was the most surprising thing in working with us? What exceeded your expectations or would make you say, you know what, I need to recommend this business to every single business owner?
It's Paul, it's people like you, it's the support. If anybody's dealt with new software, there's a learning curve. Not only was the support there, but the encouragement to do the business at the same time as you're learning, as opposed to go figure all this out and then come back to me in a couple months and we'll talk again. No, it was, hey, let's go make mistakes. Let's go fail, right? But fail forward and learn, take the opportunities of any failures to learn what we could have done better. And really it's been the support. It's been the 2 calls every week. It's been the ability to, book extra calls. It's been the ability to send emails and have a response within 24 hours or less with a solution, or at least a direction of what to do. And it's been great. But the program itself is so well structured. You just have to follow the steps. But to have the support system in place is it's a godsend.
Thank you very much. That was very, very nice. And I wanted for you to share basically the first AI technology that we shared with you and we supported in installing in your business, and what were your results with it?
Yes, absolutely. And so again, it was, hey, let's just go test this thing. Let's go try it and go run an ad and see what happens. Well, I did that. Of course, you have a little bit of skepticism and you question, you're like, yeah, we'll see. I've run paid ads before, right? And so I did. And here's the results right here. And I was only doing, what was it? I did it at $10, I think I did it at, as far as the paid ad goes, as you recommend. And I let it run for 3 weeks. And so you can see here, week 1, it was reached 1,200, over 1,200. Week 2 dropped a little to 1,000. And then week 3, it optimized and hit, reached 1,600. And as you can see, I didn't even spend the full month, $10 ad spend, had 192 clicks, basically CPC of $1.43, the CTR, the click-through rate at 3.31%. And if we're somewhere between, it's my understanding 3 to 10%, really solid. And then, reached 5,000 people in 3 weeks. And I did a very generic, very straightforward, and didn't even fully follow all the instructions and when I put my ad together. So I'm looking forward to actually following the instruction to the letter and see how this goes. But a cost per lead of, $3.67. And I think that was probably just due to my own inefficiency of the setup, right? But hey, I ended up with 75 leads that came through that had first name, last name, email address, and a phone number.
That's absolutely amazing. And I was just we were in the back room, after you shared all of this with us, we were absolutely cheering. And we were like, why aren't we running that campaign?
That's awesome. Yeah.
We are not getting them at $3.
I've had a couple of really good conversations too with, a couple of the leads. One, I'm just playing phone tag with and trying to get a coordinated schedule to actually have an initial conversation to see if their business would work or not. And a couple others that are getting ready to jump onto a call with me. So like any lead, I wasn't the most efficient in contacting them immediately, but I'm getting better at that and improving. And I know that the end result will also improve, especially off of an ad that was just a tester. So I was like, oh, this is awesome.
That's amazing. And on a scale from 1 to 10, what would be your rating of your experience with us and your number at recommending us to work with other business owners?
11, 12, over 10. This is for 10. So I'll go with 10 just to be, but honestly, I think because the only way I would go lesser rating if I was rating myself and my lack of follow-up, because it was a tester ad. Otherwise, the product, the support, the direction, the coaching, the system itself has just been stellar.
Amazing. Thank you very, very much.
No, thank you. Appreciate you.